Well, I see your in this energy body. It's light, kind of cream color type with white overlay, which looks like some sort of outfit, just like a robe, but it's made out of very thin fabric. And you're just running through the field of flowers as a little girl, but then at the same time, I see you in space, running and stepping on these big giant flowers, and they're all different, but they're all spinning. And you're just exploring. You say that you don't like to stay long in one place. You like to explore, and through exploring, you find parts of yourself that are missing, and you send yourself here to find your own other pieces of you, fragments. They've been sent to explore, but somehow got stuck in some of the machines. I see some. I see you went to the artificially created system, which to trick people into going there, which is like they named it Source. In reality, the original one is not like Source. Just a place, a space for creation, where creation has begun a long time ago, if we speak of time. But it's like there's a tubing system all over the place, and there are tunnel system also that it's like totally energetic tunnels. And I see beings walking through the tunnels into that artificial source. Well, that's kind of like a setup that um, the tunnels of light. There are multiple of them. There's like hundreds of them coming from different directions from Earth into this particular place. But the first take, some of them, it just depends. There's two mechanisms as I see. First, souls after leaving the body taken to the platforms. And at the platforms, there's artificial world is created, but it's according to their beliefs. And others want to go directly to source and skip that one because during the lifetime of theirs, they figured out how to escape um, the Earth's matrix and the astral Earth's matrices, and so they just kind of go past with their intention. They basically burn up through the layers that we call dome over Earth, and then they see that those passageways, they look like, for some they look like bright light that attracts them, and they want to figure, like, they're curious. They become curious because they own this curiosity, which is scanned by the system. And there's lots of systems that scan you. There's a satellite blanket that scans you. There's also devices in space that sometimes they call it junk, but it's not. It's specifically designed and put there. It's AI technology that kind of guards the doors of the prison. So even if you passed the first exit point, then they want to catch you at the second one. Sorry. And then you just go like to different ways. Depending on your beliefs. It totally depends everything on your beliefs and the knowledge you collected and how wise you are not to go there, but just go rather your own way because you learned that you can only count on yourself and trust yourself. Um, Other, it's a high percentage of deception going on in this universe. That's what they turned it into, and that's when one of your pieces was stuck. Um, it's kind of interesting because Marduk, Marduk, there's some satellite or whatever planet. Well, it's not the name. The Marduk is the name of the one who guards it. And then there is a Neptune and there is a Zeus and Odin. They're different names for different so-called low vibrational sanctuaries where those beings kind of like own the parts of space where they have their properties and they own and control, and it's hierarchical ladder for that. But you've been incarnated on the 5D earth for a long time. But then something happened. They started coming. I see a lot of grays coming, um, and reptilians in charge of them, and they would scan the territory. They would copy and mimic the territory to set up a new 5D trap, um, for people who are eager to build up that breach, that creation in their heads to move to the 5D earth. And then they wanted to create a trap based on that belief, which that's what they usually do. Whatever is a big idea, transmit it and spread out to people, and they started believing in it in large quantities, a lot of people. And then they would just try to use it and reverse it and to make it into a negative from a positive. But that's where it's almost like they put the souls who were in 5D originally, and you had access to other densities also, six, sevens. It's like you can teleport yourself to any earth you wanted to. But what you see there is totally different from here. It's more like freedom and beautiful nature, and people live in basically by natural laws. They don't touch nature, they don't destroy, they enjoy their coexistence with it. And I see a little blue piece of you. It's like a blue triangle with rounded corners, and you holding it in your hands as if you crystallized a part of you, and you're bringing it back to your own space up there past all the field of creation, of universes, all the layers of those. But like I see you at your own space. And I see you create this. You created some sort of bed or something, but it looks like a cloud. It's just floating. And I see a desk to the right was the computer screen. And you just talk to a computer. It's like an extension of your consciousness, really. It's not AI technology or anything like this. Um, Extension of you that you talk to, and it lets you see your other lives or other pieces where they are located. Because then if I fast forward, you go to this artificial, looks like a beehive with lots of holes, and you take another blue, you go through the tunnel system, go into this artificially created draconian source, in our universe, and you take another piece of you and bring it up there. But you like to though explore. It's like you have the exploration book, and you write down what ideas you get from different universes because you want to create your own, which would have the best ideas all combined together. As you say, under the sauce of my own imagination. And I see you did retrieve those, and you call yourself a child of each universe because you really are not stably connected to any particular lives, any particular galaxies, or there's not like a single star or planet that you can name that you are basically incarnated there over and over again, except you've been stuck on the 5D Earth because you also wanted to experience that. Um, and it was like you're saying there was billions years ago. Um, it's much longer than we think that it's the whole system being created. And then, so they basically, they created, it's kind of interesting what they did. They took a little tiny fragment of you when you came. So when you came here, because they're connected to that part of the body, they've been connected because they're connected to the right. The right part, I see like a figure. It's composed of the kind of like gray dust. Come to it and see. Yeah, it's like a gray standing there, but it's a different type. It's a hybrid with it's like a Pleiadian gray hybrid. Looks like Pleiadian a bit, but the eyes are really kind of dark. And but he can't really get attached to you or even stand in your energy sphere because he says she's too jumpy. She's she's got these ideas, and they were more in control of you. He was more in control of you and had plans for you when you were younger. He says he liked their rebellion period of when you're teenagers, and that's what they usually get the energy from that period of time, which he has access to, and it still exists. It's like a movie dissected into parts of your own life that everything is existed the same in the same one dot, and he's connected to that one dot. So he says that he's mostly draining energy from there, but not from here much anymore because you figured your way out, but he's just an observer and watcher at this point. And that's why he said sometimes beings come and go and want to use her as an instrument or a bridge to connect her to her children. But then she now knows how to push them out, how to monitor that process also. Well, the thing is, because you collect bits and pieces of information, put them together, you kind of figured out the mechanism of interference on your own, and your subconscious been trying to put you the whole entire big package of that information, and finally succeeded now, because I see that being, it really has not much influence on you. It's kind of like in standby mode, waiting to see if you can get upset over something, or um, something would distract you from your own focus of attention, and that's when he could do some create little situation by using other people and sending those to you, like the usual tricks. But other than that, you're just, he's kind of like, he's not even attached through the cord. He's basically like standing by your energy sphere and walking around you like a guard, because he can't really touch you most of the time, because when you stay in that neutrality or high vibration, it's like you are fire for him. He can't touch you, cannot manipulate your mind. um and it happened recently when you, like, looking at your timeline, it happened kind of recently when you started dismantling, like you was pretty much was the birth of your first child, your first baby. It's like that. That's what they're usually afraid of. They're afraid of this mother baby child connection in blossom, like when it kicks in, when the instinct kicks in, and in some it's more stronger, much stronger than in others. Um, it just clears up a lot of energetically, because it's like extreme power of love in between two beings, and the other being shows up and connected in the same energy sphere. So there's not much space for any other to be connected and attached to. And you're pointing at some kind of darn dinosaur looking being with white skin. You're saying that that one is really wanted your, well, there's one that you pushed out obviously yesterday when we shared information with you and your older daughter, that she had an implant on her head, and I don't remember who it was because he's gone. Probably reptilian who you pushed out was her. Um, because I don't see it anymore. Once it's fixed, it's fixed. It's like a black window. But she's clean, and the baby is clean also. But that baby wanted to be controlled, and so this white dragon, white. I'm not touching it, so I don't know who it is really. It kind of looks like a white skin reptile or dino. He wanted to get attached to your baby through some, it was some emotional kind of and mental planning out and hardship. That's what I get in that, bringing the other one and spreading attention equally in between the first one and the second one. And that's when that the white skinned one wanted to get attached, but you didn't let it, because see how I see you now. It's like a pond of water, and you're in the middle in this big flower, just like I saw you jumping from one to another, and there's like two of your daughters are here, so they're just like swimming around you. They're in their flowers, they are on attached to your flower, and you're all together in one energy sphere. So there's really not much room to enter it to, but you're guarded enough, and it takes energy from you also. So some days you feel tired, and it's A lot of it's because you're on guard, you're very aware of these things. But in terms of lives, this is your life number 3, and you're just saying that you don't like being stuck or feeling like you can't move after one life, that you would basically, your pattern would be you live one life at each planet and you would go. I see a planet that you liked, that you show from our universe. It's kind of like, imagine a hybrid of a cat and a fox together, but a cute fox like a cartoon one with a short snout, big eyes, big eyelashes, kind of, but they're kind of cute, like go in this direction. The whitish front, and then it goes kind of like this dark orange color, but the tail is of a cat. Um, and that's a planet that you liked because you say that they have connection to cat beings, and you have a connection to those too because you visited Sirius star system and you're aware of the Egypt and influence from cat people on the Egypt, and it's fascinating. The You like the dogs also, but there's a knowledge in you that the dogman people, they've been influenced and implanted, and became mean basically towards humanity and try to use and control it. But that planet is kind of dear to you. It's they live in those kind of green caves. Green, why? Because it's these are trees without trunks that growing from the surface of the planet, and they form like a tent. And you like that life. You liked being free with them and being like one of them. And I see your body. It's like you have this light body, very light energy body, bright white light, long. It's like, well, in our perception and understanding, it's like hair, but here it looks like it's energetic extension of you that is connected to everything on this planet and gives you the opportunity to feel through the energetic intake from space and our output from the energies of the planet that you're creating, because those little foxes, they're kind of like an inspiration for you to create more interesting animals and to experience living with them, because you just like living with them in that symbiotic relationship with nature. And I don't planet is interesting. It's like bushes that look like caves all over the planet, and there are different shapes. They're round, they're pokey, like more like a tent like this. And but you don't like to, you've seen a lot of fighting in this universe, but you never participated in fights because it's just not your nature. You're more of an explorer and experiencer, and also you figure out the system. It's like you're saying and pointing, it's like a tubing system all around this universe on inside. And through this tubing system, they spread the black goo, what we call. And that black goo, it's like radiation, basically. It radiates the negativity and it spreads it. And the reason why they put that black goo in a lot of even foods and drinks, because they want people who consume that to be like conductors of that negativity. So the more of that goo they accumulate and they keep at certain point level, the more negative they become. And it's kind of interesting. So it creates like a network of people and looks like a spider web in between all of them that, and other people, it makes it harder for other people to actually stay positive and not feel um, hit by waves of negativity, basically, or anxiety or panic or anger or things like that. They're just like, that's design, and that's a design that we're melting now, all of us, and we brought different energies with us, and together these energies resemble like a rainbow of colors, but the rainbow is not really what we look and see. There are different stripes, and each color represents either healing or uplift or emotional healing or mental healing or physical body healing or bright ideas for the future or the change. Some people are just here to oppose, and through that opposition. And you're more like, let's just get to business of creating and preparing the field vibrationally and emotionally for that creation to descend and be built up by itself according to the program that we put into it. But that's what your subconscious wanted to say, that you also, your kids, it's like they're supposed to be in high vibrational place because they are of high vibration, and they picked you because they knew that you would be the one who would keep them clean, even though, like we discovered yesterday, the oldest one should not be having problems anymore. She just had this implant on her head. But it happened because of your um, unstable kind of worries, and everything for the first time happening. That's how that being got attached and left now. So I don't see anything around you, but I do see that you got a lot of strands of DNA going on. I see 300 of them, and you can add up more and more. You have this ability to mold your body to change into anything you want, to quickly design. You like to, you have this good vision of things, and it came to me is just good eye for art or design or a combination of colors, and colors represent different vibrations, which combined can be healing or create happiness around or things like that. And those strands, and but they've not mutated. I don't see you having any clones because you've changed that from that 5D, and you're actually going back and you're putting this kind of egg-shaped protection over that layer of the 5D earth, um, which I see like flat with the flat platform with at the bottom. But it's because it's part of this earth. It's hard to explain because when physical earth, it changes its shape from round to the bean kind of shape, flattens out and back to round. But then energetic layers, they really are kind of flat looking layers. But then at the same time, when I zoom out, I see all the earth round in a chain of kind of like beating chain. Um, a lot of it is an illusion of the physical eyes when we look at things, and the perception is the brain puts limit of perception. But you just changed basically the idea that, and you spread the information to people who believe that they only need to go to the fifth dimension, so they understand that um, that's been a trap created by AI. If you strictly directly go there without, because the reality is, for instance, you are more in balance with your conscious subconscious, which I see like 65 and 78 conscious, and and then it's grew now to like 98, 97, whatever. So it's basically happens very quick. It's not like what usually people think that it takes time. For that, no. Once you understand something, clicks. It's like a child. Neurons are connected, and he knows how to use the bathroom. The same thing. Um, but the other people. So basically, when the change happens, everybody goes not to a specific earth, but as I see it, to a specific group or location of people who are in resonance with your own vibrational status or level or consciousness level on both conscious and subconscious. And that's how it's gonna be. And then imagine the whole earth with time is gonna form like this clusters or groups of villages or of people creating something beautiful, but they would resonate in ideas and understanding how to do it. And they could understand each other perfectly because they're at the same consciousness level. So that's how it's gonna be. It's not like a separate place that you're gonna be taken somewhere and gone. Not like that, but it's a process step by step. But that's what your subconscious basically wanted to convey to you through me. But yeah, if you want, you can ask questions, or we can create another part with questions if those are personal.
Okay. Just need a moment to. So my my youngest the baby, and um, I just feel a lot of like there's just this part of me that just feels like not really understood at times, and I'm wanting to feel understood, or I don't know. I think with motherhood, um, it feels hard. It feels like there's this um, I don't like this feeling, and I don't know where it comes from. But this like anxiety or overwhelm very easily, or not having like more freedom, feeling like I have to be attached to the children all the time. So, and I know I just want to know where that comes from in this physical lifetime. If there's anything I can do to understand that and then dismantle it and clear it for good, because I just feel like it can hold me back at times from really having that beautiful experience of being a mother.
You were saying I started seeing some life on some other planet, and it looks like the whole planet is covered. You're more like a space person. You really don't care about the Earth's lives here, but yeah, it's just like big hills, kind of look like mountains, but different structure of them. They're more like crystalline structure, and a park kind of like that. Um, and there's like huge nests on each top, and you're mother bird, and you have all these children you have to look after, and some of them start flying earlier than others, and they all spread in different directions, and they at the same time, and you look like a huge blue pelican. That's how you look. Even the beak is blue, and those little, they just like fly in different directions, and you feel like, oh, that this world is, I'm not sure about downstairs, and I've got to kind of follow them all around. But what you do is you create a projection of yourself to follow each bird, each baby that you have. And in this life, but you still feel anxiety because you're still in the nest, kind of watching the projections of you following them. It's like a 3D projections because it's 6 dimensions, so it's all energetic, and you can do that. But you're still sitting on the other eggs and to be hatched. And that anxiety is going into your life too, even though you don't have this many like you have there. And I guess there's a lot of them, and and it's all new to you. And that anxiety is exactly how that, I think it was a reptilian, that we looked, at last night, got attached to you and implanted your young oldest daughter to begin with, because it's like you are so connected to that life, and most of your lives are like you're an animal, you're a bird, or you're a part of nature. um, the other two lives before this one, the at the physical level, 3D, I feel like you show me like you're a child, and you have this deep connection with children also, so you do know how they feel. And in the second life, it was the wrong family, and I feel like the mother was abusive to you, and you would go in the woods with your horse, and it looks like it's Slovakia, or because I hear you speak Czech language. Um, and you just go talk to the horse all the time, like your best friend, and in the woods. Because the mother also was uh, kind of busy baking bread, and the father was always away trying to make living with all these other four brothers that you had, and you didn't really feel connected to them either. But because you are of a soft nature, you connect better with the nature, with the animals, with those beings, not with humans as much. And that's why you want to keep yourself away from the human society in a way. But that's all that comes from there. It's also, like I said before, this Pleiadian that is gone now, the hybrid, used to take some energy from you from that particular time when you were a teenager, going into 20s, and it's a pool of energy from you, so it makes you kind of tight and anxious and doubt yourself and am I doing the right thing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, the biggest thing that he could influence you with is he could telepathically connect with you, because he cannot do it physically, cannot get your etheric body. Um, and by the way, I don't see even chakras in you. Like you erased them or something, eliminated them by yourself before. And he could put like guilt and fear. Fear is at the bottom, guilt is on top. And the idea is what you want for yourself, because you still have a lot of energy. You want to explore the world, and your essence is all about exploration and movement. So when you feel you're stuck, you have to attend to children because they're still very young. You kind of feel stuck and in danger, because what usually would happen to you if you're stuck like you were stuck at this 5D Earth, that meant somebody took over, somebody made you stuck there. So that's why you feel anxious also from that, like, oh, I'm not free. Because for you, it's very important to feel free in your decision making, in your actions, in your movement. You need to go to places and discover new beautiful places to inspire yourself, because you're like in your mind, you're like an artist. You like to play with shapes, colors, and whatever it is, art related or even design, like things like that. It's kind of like what you naturally like, and because that's what you notice about each universe and you write down in your book
Mm.
about how it's designed, how the colors are, because every universe has different colors. So that's so interesting to you.
Yeah, because I usually tend to more of like a neutral palette, and then like greens and very nature and calming environments. And I do a lot of design, interior design.
Oh,
I love
really?
it. Yeah, I love it.
Mm,
Because a lot of colors, they like shock me at times, or I just can't focus on. It's like too like
you
I
like
guess I'm
more
just,
pastels,
yeah, more
right?
pastels, exactly. Yeah. Um, so there's been some pain that I've been having in my back, my stomach. It's just like indigestion, and I have like bloating and gas, just discomfort, and I don't know if it's acid reflux. And I've gone to doctor several times over the years. I used to have like a lot of pain, done a lot of healing work around it, but I don't. I just want to know what that root cause of it is, and like completely dismantling it and just blasting it
Yeah,
out for good. And I don't know if that's connected with my diet and things changing so much, and really keeping like more of a high vibrational diet. But yeah, there's just stuff in my belly. I just feel like is has my attention a lot.
it's because it goes like this. That's the energies you created.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you have an idea, go here, you have another idea, go here. And with all of this, you feel like you don't really have time to implement your ideas, because you're also a mother and constantly, you know, they're seeking attention from you nonstop 24/7. So it creates like a seesaw with two layers of it. One layer is your ideas for yourself and for creating, something that would please you and fulfill you inside, but another one is there, you know, it's like you're split and you're kind of like nervous and anxious at times, like
Yeah,
what should I do first? I mean, there's
yeah,
still so much to do, and that creates this tick, 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 it's like a constant thing in your stomach, but it's not physical, like it's all energetic with
okay,
you, because you're very fast at creating and putting. I feel like you would put it more towards the stomach because that's how you feel through. You feel through heart and the stomach. So in all those negative kind of feelings, it would go into the stomach, but then you separate them and the positive and love for your children would go into the heart area. So that's why that part feels light and, beautiful and all this. But down there, it's kind of like something tugging you down and making you feel uncomfortable type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there's nobody there. It just, you created it, you can uncreate it.
Yeah.
You can start noticing and maybe um, tell yourself that this is just the time for you. And I, I understand how it feels. Like you are stuck in this 24/7 attending to your little ones. But at the same time, this time goes too fast and then you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Kind of always remember that. So, I mean, this is a beautiful time at the new place to enjoy and the weather and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just like focus on what you can do, places you can go and explore because you're naturally like to explore.
Okay. I wanted to ask some questions about my children. They're a little more personal, so I might want to start a
Mm,
second.
okay.
um,
Do you want me
so
to turn off the recording and do it just for you, or are you okay with?
I'm okay with it recording.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Um, so so Isla, she's my little 6 month old almost this week, and she's just been having so much trouble napping, sleeping, and she feels really tied to mommy. Like I can only put her to sleep. If she goes with my mother-in-law, anyone else pretty much aside from me, she gets upset if she can't see me or be with me or like physically with me, and um, that's been difficult for me because, like you said, I like to have a little freedom and get things done, and I don't know how to like calm her or get her to prolong a little bit of sleep by herself. Like she wants to sleep in my arms, sleep with me next to the bed. Um, so I'm just wondering, is there any interference with that? Is there going on to her?
There's no interference.
Yeah.
She's just saying that she's been looking for a long time and she needs to feel secure because this is her
Mm.
first time on the earth.
Oh,
As a
okay.
lot of children now coming for the first time, and this physical level is scary. And a
Mm.
lot of she's very sensitive. She feels there's a lot of things going on here that is unfair and hurtful, and she wants to feel safe. And you're part of her, she's part of you. So to be honest, I mean, my three of my other the children, 11, 9, and 6, I've been, it's like we would start with a sling, which, the one that like the head is open, and then I would carry them from the minute I would give birth to them at home. It would be like this. Even going to the bathroom, I would hold my
Yeah,
child. No kidding.
that's me
Yeah.
too. No, that's me too.
And eating the same thing, like I would hold, and then I had like multiple different slings and those, like, that organic argo, whatever,
Yeah,
cotton baby thingy. Well, that's, the truth is, this is how the nature designed it.
right.
Because before they become women, they'll be in your energy sphere. And at little children, they're part of you. They're just little, really, it's like a tail that you have. And I mean, you're not gonna put a tail on the shelf and walk away from it, right?
No, so I'm
Or
fighting it.
yeah, it
Yeah, I feel like
just
I fight that natural instinct of what it was always meant to be.
right. But the thing
Yeah,
is, the truth is, based on my own experience,
yeah,
when children are gonna be like they who spend time with the mothers until the age 5, or better off even 7, like they do in my country.
Mm-hmm.
They are more secure of themselves. They trust themselves more. They're not brainwashed. They think for
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Right.
And they're very sure of themselves. They don't have fears. They don't have anxieties. They actually physiologically very strong and emotionally and psychologically. Um, so that's kind of like this because, well, I'll tell you later. My 6-year-old tells me that she picked me and she remembers how, and
Oh.
because she wanted to be protected and she wanted the right mom. So, and that's their first life here too, all three of them. So there's a lot of parents who are gonna break the rules and the ideas of the society about, oh, they have to go to school to be social. No, not needed. They have to actually be in dirt, dig into dirt, be under the trees in nature to learn about this planet, how they can contribute and preserve the beauty of this planet.
Right.
It's all different mentality, and these children are going to break it. That's why they're demanding, they're trying to tell you, hey, this is our time,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to help each other create this beautiful, like endless, beautiful cycle of creation, you and us. And I mean, you'll create unbelievably beautiful things with them. That's the beauty of mother and children when they're totally connected and in harmony. Then it's a great force to help out with the vibrations of the earth rising. And so it's all just it's natural, it's normal, it's actually normal because everything that they recommend in books and pediatricians and all that is reversed. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever they recommend, unless your doctor is like my doctor who thinks that children should be breastfed until 5 and sleep with mothers until 5, at least 5, because my
Mm-hmm.
kids are older and we still all sleep together. Just like we put two big beds together and like me and three of them sleep together, but they don't have anxiety going to sleep. They're not fearful, they always know I'm close, like protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot. And then they can, instead of fearing things and being anxious, they put all their energy into the right things, creating in their minds, imagination, and they absorb information from you also. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're learning or you learn through a session, your children are going to know because there's an energy exchange constant when they're close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like my kids ask about the aliens and all this, I don't even talk to them. They ask.
Mm.
So it just an unseen stuff going on that very important also energetically.
Um, your children sound beautiful.
Thanks.
um, I actually have a son. He's 3, and he's been talking a lot about like creatures and monsters, and I know that I'm very like cautious of what he watches on TV and how they slip things in with music, and it looks nice all of a sudden on the first episode and then it's like boom, they insert some sort of fear tactic. And but what I'm wanting to know with my son, Noah, is he, I just feel like he can be like very emotional up and down, like very sweet and calming and just this loving, nurturing little boy. And then all of a sudden he's just like, no. um, and I'm wondering, like, is there anything I can do to understand or help him with that, with his emotions, with his, he's like, when he likes things done a certain way and only his way, and that's it. And I'm
Yeah,
just trying to figure out, like, you know, he feels very different than my daughter.
he's different. He's not even much in your energy sphere. He's always in space. He
Mm-hmm.
has a suit on, he has a sword, like a plasma sword, and he decided for himself that his mission is to fight reptilian forms.
Oh.
And I feel like he's been in a lot of wars, galactic, intergalactic wars. He came to me as a grown-up man. I don't even see a child in him. He's he can see through the layers. He knows everything about entities and beings who are controlling humanity and attached to people. And he feels them passing through our dimension. So, and he feels their energies. So he can like jump up or make a sudden turn or whatever, just like following that being passing by
Mm-hmm.
or feeling the energy going through. Um, and he's mostly like in space searching for whom he can help. He's all about helping.
Yeah.
And this is only his second life here. He told me right away. Because I haven't been here much, but I just came to as a blue warrior, blue energy warrior. He has a connection to water, to
Yes.
and it just the because he has a connection to water, he is very sensitive and transparent. Um, he sees orbs, entities, creatures. He just doesn't talk about it, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
he totally sees everything.
So, is there a way that I can? Because we're new to this new home, and the woman who owned it prior, I don't know if she comes and visits us or if there's just like some lingering things in the space. Um,
He wants, see, he's different with your daughters. Your daughters are just like, they want you to be like a sun and soft and there's flowers and they're sitting like princesses on the flowers. But he is different. He wants to be treated as an adult, like type.
oh.
He's more like the information to him, all these little things like in cartoons and books
Mm-hmm.
is just he's very high in understanding and consciousness.
Right.
You'll see later, especially. I mean, he'll be saying things that just like the children don't say, and he notices things about the world that adults don't see through. But yeah, I mean, just like an interesting outfit. It's almost like a ninja outfit with lots of belts, and he's got this face. This looks like you would draw a classical Pleiadian face, but his skin is like sand color, a different race that he's been on before. Kind of goes towards this when I see like Sirius and then Lyrans. Uh, goes in that direction. But he is also very independent. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't side up with anybody. He wants to be on his own. And that what connection with you and him is. You like to be immersed in your world of creation and vision of the okay, let's create the beautiful something. Like, let's design a beautiful universe. When this is gonna be here, that gonna be here, the colors are gonna blend that way. Things like that. And he just likes to explore by himself because he already knows so much and he never forgot what he knows. It's just that he is too little to express. But I feel like he just likes being in nature like you do. Like, look at the bugs and dig and things like that. And especially I see him by the like at the beach, water. Like he has this deep connection with water. Yeah.
Um, okay, this is gonna switch it over to my dog Shiloh. He he feels like the connection that we have together. Um, he has like a lot of anxiety over noises. So like when both my children sneeze, he freaks out. He'll bark just at so many different things, and I just don't know how to help him. I don't know what to do with my dog.
Hyper protective over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, there's so much stuff going on, like lately, in my life. They added so much noise. Seems like, what he does this, so you pay attention to him.
Oh,
Totally for attention seeking. Like hug me and things like that.
oh.
So that's why he reacts this way. It's not because of the noise. It just he found a point that he can kind of get your attention. Hey, I'm needy. So,
Yes, he is.
yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Um, so I I want to know, is there's some things with my husband and I that we've been working through, a lot of the change that's been going on, and I know I'm very different in my level of consciousness than he is. Um, but as parents, we just find ourselves like, I think, with our patience levels and towards each other at times. So I really want to work on if there's any healing that between he and I that we can do, um, like any resentment, anger, jealousy, or there's just something there
Yeah.
that I can't quite understand what it is.
It's that he had all the attention before. I see him like in the far corner, standing there, and all of a sudden, this attention and energy of yours is all taken into children, and he didn't realize that's how hard it is actually to
Mm-hmm.
have small children like that. And it's beautiful on one side for him, and he likes to experience it on the other. He's like a dog, wants more attention from you. And
Mm-hmm.
see where this anxiety comes from. Like all these people are demanding from you, and not only people. And you're just like, you're putting all this into stomach, like, wait, I can't do it all, like, and they
Yeah,
don't,
that's what it feels like.
yeah, they just don't understand really. I mean, it's a job, and actually the hardest job is to be a mom. That's the
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Yeah.
But he just should understand this, and but he's more focused on himself because he's more like into this matrix kind of programming. She's my wife, she has to give attention to me, but it's just a period of life. You have to understand before they get older and start playing together, which is going to be a beautiful thing to observe, but then you'll have more time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's, yeah, it's very demanding on you physically too. I mean, just to breastfeed a child, it's really, it's not
Just
easy.
speaking of breastfeeding, I just a question popped up. I get the sense that both my children are vegetarian or possibly even vegan, and that's where I'm going in my diet. Do you
Mm,
see that as well?
yeah. Yeah, because they came here to change the world. It's just like that Hopi prophecy. The rainbow warriors and the other souls are coming to change the system. And for to change the system and uplift it, you have to be light yourself. And they descend from higher dimension to the third one. In a way, it's like a sacrifice, for them. And that's why they need to be, loved and feel this high vibrations all the time. and feel light in the body, because the body for them, it just feels weird, feels something that hard to deal with in the beginning, to get used to adapt, as they used to be able to do things like, for us it would be walking through walls, manifesting instantly and things like that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, those children, just like my kids at the age of 2, my daughters knew that people who eat animals, they people who eat meat, they eat animals. In fact, nobody told them that. Nobody.
Yeah.
So they're higher consciousness. Just you have to get used to it, because that's kind of the way. You can tell them things that an older kids you could only tell, but when they're 5, they would understand everything at a higher level, and they actually usually physically progress faster also, physiologically, because it just by design they're eager to grow up faster, to actually finally get into the mission to change everything, and they'll be your best teachers also.
Right. So, in terms of schooling, I was looking at this Waldorf school here, and it's like a lot about nature. And I've just been on the fence whether that's something a couple days a week for a few hours is going to be good for Noah.
Well, I feel like he'll post resistance to it. The
Mm.
school by itself is a very good school, probably the best program you can possibly create. You can improve it, of course, because it also has to do with whom do you get as a teacher, you know.
Mm.
But the idea behind it, the structure is perfect. It just, you know, feel through for yourself and feel your child when you go there and see how he interacts and reacts. Mm, but he's showing me that he just wants to play with dirt and be in the grass. So,
um, yeah, that's him. um, so one of the other things that I get kind of anxious about, or just I don't know, maybe a little paranoid at times, is like EMFs and like all the Wi-Fi and the cords and being around. I just don't like it, and I think that it interferes with. Um, but
yeah,
I'm also like, is it? I don't know. Is it just? Is my body able to? Like, I just don't want to be harmed from it anyway.
the thing is, it's like that anxiety that was building up in your stomach that you took
Mm.
out, removed, turned into birds, and they flew away. Because I told you can throw it out or transform. You transformed, and it just was adding to the anxiety because you were on by inertia. If you're focused on something that you have to fix, let's say of a negative vibration, that you would continue to be focusing on that, it would build up. So if you focus on the positive, you would seek out the more positive things in your environment around. You focus on the negative, you would only start noticing more negative. It's kind of like that, because the truth is, if you are in high vibration like you are with your children, and imagine you're like in one energy sphere, you created this dome around you. It's very thick vibrational, high vibrational bubble around you. I mean, those don't touch you. They don't go through it. They don't influence you, because we are higher than this physical level and this bombardment of constant waves. The whole Earth, this layer of 3D, is a grid of wave system. That's how the prism works. If they didn't have the layers and layers of wave technology systems, we would just be easy to escape, you know. But it's all about the knowledge. It's about the perception, how you view it. If you are high in vibration, then those waves that you overpower them. They don't have any influence on you. Because in reality, see, that's why they brainwash us and tell us, even through those truthers on YouTube or whatever, that those are very harmful, be afraid. And it's all again based on fear. Whatever's based on fear, whatever information, it doesn't matter from whom it comes, but it's still fear based. So it shouldn't be, unless you live right next to the huge pole with the electrical poles and 5G antennas right close to your house. I wouldn't want to do that myself, but other than that, I'm not worried at all about that. It's not gonna affect you.
Okay. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
I
um,
looked at it myself so many times, so
yeah, well, yeah, because my husband, he likes to have, he likes to have his phone with him all the time, or if he's holding my daughter, and I'm just like, that's right in her face, you know.
uh,
Um, um, so in terms of, oh, it's raining so nicely right now. So in terms of just where I'm going in this timeline right now, I've never really figured out a career or like where it is I want to put my focus and energy on, where like I feel good and fulfilled. Like what it is I go to something and then I've noticed like I'll start and then kind of not complete it, or I'll get my energies pulled here or there, like you were talking about. But I want to do things differently and feel just more calm and like, oh, I know, more organized, more productive. Like I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that and then that with ease.
but energetically, you yourself tell to your own physical part. The energetic part says you also came here to experience the raising the children, the part of that is physicality gives, and it's a beautiful process. And it's not the right time for you to think about those things.
Okay.
I just don't see energetically. I see more that your children will give you an idea, and you would feel that, oh, now they are more independent and they play together, and there's more time that I get for myself. It's going to happen naturally. Don't push anything. It's kind of the idea would come to you, would feel right, the time would be right. Because when you push it, then you regret it. You know that you will be too overwhelmed with everything together. It's just not be good. And if you have kids this little, it just that's your biggest job. Like I said, everybody in the world should understand. When you have children, small children, I mean, it takes enormous amount of energy. You get so exhausted as if you were tugging, bags of potatoes all day and loading them on a truck. That's how it feels at the end of the day. And then you have to
Yeah.
breastfeed throughout the night too. Like you can never get solid sleep.
Yeah.
So that's what it is for you. Like don't put too much on yourself because you'll get run down. When you get run down, your vibration drops, and that's when the beings can get into you and get attached, and the trouble would start. Why would you need
Right.
that?
Nope, don't need that. Not at all. Okay. Oh, it feels good because there is this part of me that was feeling like my job is to be a parent, and I think there's so much of the society and like that we don't realize that it's like, oh, is this how I'm going to do things and not look at to anything else? Like, don't compare it to anyone else, anything else.
Right, because
Sometimes,
that's the biggest contribution to raise the kids the right way so they think for themselves and they actually clean and not brainwashed to accomplish what they came here to accomplish. It's a huge deal. I mean, three little souls depending on you.
right. um, and then in terms of uh, like crystals and like sound healing and like Reiki and stuff like that, um, I've kind of pushed, like moved away from it a bit.
Hmm.
Is that also just because I'm overwhelmed by things and
Yeah, because you're sensitive too. Um, and you just felt like that's something that you don't want to deal with because it would cause interference. Some of it, at least, not all of it, of course.
mm,
But I don't see that it's totally what is yours. For you, it's more like you said yourself, you're a designer, but that's what I see, that you design universes, how they are constructed inside, how they look inside, vibrational, energetically, sound, color, yeah, information, light put together. You like that. I mean, you're all about the pictures. You have these perfect pictures in your head how it should look. So just follow that, because this is more of kind of like popular thing to do,
mm,
that everybody's trying to kind of experience. And I mean, I was told by so many people that you should follow that, and sure enough, I discovered later I was right. Just follow your feeling. You know what you want to do. It should be like a flow,
mm,
and ideas would come at the right time. Like for everything, there's a right time. You know, it has to energetically connect, and then it's beautifully unfolding for you, and everything just comes to you. It's like magic. It's not that you're pushing it, and it should feel like sailing with the wind, instead of going against the wind and having all these problems what to do and how to find time or anything like this. Life should be of pleasure. They teach us their own way. They tell us about hardship and how hard it is, but it should be the idea of any life on any planet is to enjoy yourself in the process. That's the main idea. When you enjoy yourself in the process, you create positive energy that contributes to the whole planet. So,
and then is there anything behind my resistance to like sharing or being seen more or heard more? Because I feel like there's times where I want to share things that are beautiful, like the artist in me, then I hold back from like being judged or criticized, and I really don't want to like have that anymore.
yeah, that's the matrix programs that everybody has to work on. I mean, it took me, I always tell people, it did take me a year to unprogram from those. And I got to the point, I just don't care. I mean, I'm doing my thing. And if you don't resonate with me, just don't watch me, maybe. Because some people are just not ready to process the information or process and understand the beauty that you carry through your art or design. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
like, because everybody's so different. We come from all different universes, star
Mm,
systems, galaxies. I mean, how can you ever? But the being judgmental, a judgment program is placed on humans on purpose, and they created all these different races on purpose, and
mm,
all these differences in our characters and our perceptions on purpose. So we fight with each other or we judge each other. And then it creates this, oh yeah, you just want to sit around and not do anything because you're so afraid to be public or, seen. But when you create like a stable, um, good relationship, it doesn't matter. Find somebody in your family or from your friends you have a stable connection with, and it's beautiful and you enjoy it, and that would keep you very safe, feeling safe from any of this what you just mentioned. And in your case, it's you and your children, just like one beautiful huge flower, and That's all that matters. The other things is just people will always talk. It's just because they're influenced. They have implants. They have beings behind them. The system is always trying to attack those who carry that light and information within this light to make it brighter for everybody. So, and better. Just don't learn not to pay attention.
Yeah. I really feel like I got some of that now. And then the last thing I really wanted to talk about is um, so another thing that I get kind of anxious and have some like in my gut or my belly where it has that feeling is when people come over to our space and we're having a lot of guests come over to our space, and when I don't feel like ready to have people over or things aren't the way I really want them to be yet. And I'm just wondering like particular guests, like whether it's like from my family or it could be really anybody, but just like having other people in our space, is this something I can set up to where it's just I can be more.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because I see water, and then when people come, it's like ripples in the water, so it disturbs the balance, the perfect balance. And for you, it's important to see everything clear. Like, okay, in the morning I do this, then I do that. You don't like the chaos, and that
Mm-hmm.
creates some sort of chaos. Plus, um, it's probably good for you to have your baby on you, in the carrier, and so this could be like your peace of mind in a way that that one is fine, and then um, so it's kind of like you need stability and security within yourself to build up for that. But I also feel like that's a little thing in between you and your husband also, that you feel like not the right time. And actually, truth is, it's not the right time to invite people over. They're just your little energy space, and you created it, and it's a perfect schedule. And the schedule of the little kids is that it's like you never know when they're gonna wake up or whatever. I mean, how can you incorporate people coming over with that going on? It's just too much stress on you. That's what it
Yes.
is. Yeah, and so just learn to say no, we don't feel like it. It's just too much. I'm too tired. I'd rather sleep when my baby sleeps rather than entertaining, the others or preparing food. I mean, you always have to do something, right? With
Yeah.
people coming over. So it's not like a very easy thing to do. And you have very small children and very like close in age. I mean, it's just like it's crazy. I remember those times. It's too much. When you get a moment, you just sleep. That's all you do with your children when you catch that moment. So try to do that
Okay.
instead of the other stuff. Tell them later when they're a little older, you know. But
Okay. Uh, thank you so much. Trying to think if there was anything else that comes to mind. So I'm not from any particular place. I remember I know I jump a lot, but my soul level, it's not really.
yeah, it's like you don't want to stay anywhere and say, well, I'm a Pleiadian or I'm an Arcturian. You're not like that. No, it's you like to actually feel through and resonate with a lot of different energies because you know how to take the best and the beauty of each energy that you see in of each galaxy and to kind of like blend it in with your idea and create something different. Well, that's because partially you don't like living by. There's certain structures in on each planet too of those galaxies also, and you don't like structures much,
Mm-mm.
so that's why you just decided to do that, explore. I mean, there's different kinds of souls. There's star travelers. They are cosmic voyagers or travelers. I don't remember what they are. And you kind of like explore soul. There's souls for come only for cleansing from planet to planet. They just absorb and recycle the negativity into positivity. So there are different kinds of us.
Right. Are you ever going to do any like classes or, like would you in the future think about doing something like that?
Yeah, well, people ask me to teach the regressive hypnosis course,
Yeah.
which I'm thinking of doing maybe this winter.
Okay.
But I just have to put it together.
Okay. Well, keep me
Um,
posted because I'll have some
okay.
time while I'm have my baby on my hip.
Yeah, you're always like that. See, as you like to kind of explore. That's the thing with you. Okay, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. I have a few more people who asked on my
Yeah,
list.
please do. Um, Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks to you.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.